Alright guys, what is going on? Vitaly Dubin is here, founder of Bitcoin's Walls Club, and today is 15th of November, the hard fork of Bitcoin Cash. I want to discuss today with you what are the implications for the total market for Bitcoin Cash. It's not a friendly fork. Could Craig Wright tank the price of Bitcoin? It's a war of billionaires. I'm going to try my best to explain what is truly going on. I've done a lot of research today about this over the last week about this hard fork, what to expect and what all of this means. So as you can see, it's not a pretty sight. We are continuing following today. So the market didn't respond back up. We've been waiting until to see will be there any support for Bitcoin, and the Bitcoin continues to tank today. It's been 12.3% in the last 24 hours. It is at its lowest point, obviously, in 2018. And for the first time since October 2017, Bitcoin total market cap is below 100 billion. It's at $95 billion right now. And the global market cap is 180 billion, which is continuing its losses. It's down by $30 billion from just 2 days ago. Ripple at the second place. So the war is hitting, guys. What do you expect? What is going on? Let's get right into it. So first of all, today's the hard fork, and by being a regular casual retail investor in the space, I would not suggest to get into Bitcoin Cash and to hold any Bitcoin Cash, because this is not a friendly work. This is not a friendly fork. You know, Bitcoin Cash has done several changes in the protocols, but this time it's totally opposing two camps, two billionaires. From one side, there's Craig Wright from N-Chain and his Bitcoin Satoshi version. From the other side, there is the Bitcoin ABC and Jihan Wu, who is the CEO of Bitmain, and all of his camp. They're basically fighting for this fork, and who is going to win. There's going to be one winner at the end. It's not going to be something friendly that both chains will live. You know, they want to kill, right? One another, fight until death. So for that reason alone, I don't recommend you hold any Bitcoin Cash and just get out of this completely. If you have any Bitcoin Cash on the exchanges, I sold mine a couple days ago, because I saw this war is heating and it's definitely doesn't look good. So I would go on the cautious side, because there's real danger here. If you're going to be using Bitcoin Cash, there is no replay protection, which means that there'll be all kinds of problems, like transactions will not go through, the money will be lost, you know. So it's super risky to use Bitcoin Cash at this point. So what are the possible things that can happen? So first of all, we can see the fork attacks. So in effect, Wright sees the upcoming split in terms of Bitcoin longest chain rule, the underlying Bitcoin consensus mechanism that defaults to the longest chain, the event of multiple blocks being found simultaneously. They can do several fork attacks, being the majority, as they are right now about 76% of the hashing power, which is more than 50%. They can do all kinds of stuff that can cause people to lose money. They don't have replay protection. The first thing they can do is to mine empty blocks, right? And essentially, it will cause the other side to spend a lot of money, a lot of resources to find a block, only to have it orphaned and lose 12.5 Bitcoin Cash block reward. So the honest miners can give up because of that. The more severe attack is a double spend attack, and having a 51% majority can definitely make Craig Wright and his Satoshi Vision version do that. It basically, miner can produce blocks in secret that contain false transactions before injecting the transaction into the blockchain. This is a blatantly criminal attack. So the other one is Satoshi Shotgun, which basically will include a whole bunch of fake transactions into the blocks, and it will cause a lot of spam transactions, like 800 transactions per second. So that's another version of attack. There also can be something that is a fair fight, okay, which basically they'll prevent the changes that the other chain ABC intends to make from activating, and this way they could try to bleed the ABC loyal miners dry until they give up on the changes. So overall, guys, it's definitely not a friendly fork. There's going to be some attacks, and one of the chains will probably go to zero, and the other will win. So, who is going to win? It's not 100% clear at this point, but Satoshi Vision, led by Craig Wright, is definitely having an edge right now, and there is several developments, right? I've read all of the comments today on Dr. Craig S. Wright, and like I said yesterday, this is his pinned tweet. If for all BTC miners, if they switch to mine Bitcoin Cash, we may need to fund this with Bitcoin, and if we do, we sell for USD, and we think BTC market has no room, it tanks. Think about, we will sell a lot. Now, how much actually Dr. Craig Wright owns Bitcoin? That's really a question that has been asked by many people, and it's not 100% sure. Like, he claims that he owns 1.1 million Bitcoin, but none of those addresses that there is a court lawsuit for $10 billion for Craig Wright, and this lawsuit for 1 million Bitcoin, okay, the addresses that he basically have posed in that document in the court has all been linked to Mt. Gox, essentially Mt. Gox, and not to Craig Wright. So maybe he's not owning those Bitcoin. Maybe he's creating FUD, and his tweets are hostile as heck. And if you read through the comments, people are so pissed off at Craig Wright, like why he's so hostile. What's the vision behind this? Why would he just stop all this madness? But he said that BTC to $1,000 doesn't faze me. So that's part of his plan. He's talking about Bitcoin as a dead man walking, right? He's saying that there is a flaw from the SegWit basically changed in 2017, and he said there is some flaw that he's not going to tell now, but he's going to be telling a year from now, will be released. And he doesn't say and comment anything further, but he said that BTC will be shown to have no utility and are dead coin walking. So there is a lot of craziness that is going on right now, and that maybe created this, as he is one of the most controversial figures in the whole Bitcoin space. Vitalik Buterin, the founder of Ethereum, called him a fraud, but there is no denial. There is no denial that Craig Wright is actually connected in major way to Bitcoin, whether he is the Satoshi Nakamoto himself or he worked with Satoshi Nakamoto directly from the start. There is undeniable proof of that, and you can read through a lot of this. There's a lot of evidence that Craig Wright invented Bitcoin. Like, I did my best to try and hide the fact that I've been running Bitcoin since 2009, but I think it's getting, by the end of this, I think half the world is going to bloody know. You can read through all of this. There is a lot of evidence proving that Craig Wright is invented Bitcoin, together with Dave Clement, who is dead, who died in 2013. And they had a trust with 1.1 million Bitcoin in it, and apparently he mined a lot of Bitcoin since the very beginning. If you read through some of his emails, that the exact emails that came from Satoshi Nakamoto that he wrote, that Craig Wright wrote, it's at the least very suspicious, guys. Here's one email that he wrote on 10th of September. It is recorded. I cannot do the Satoshi bit anymore. They no longer listen. I'm better as a myth. Back to my lectures. I hate this, Dave. My pseudonym Satoshi Nakamoto is more popular than I can ever hope to be. So anyhow, there is a lot of controversy around that, but it's undeniable that Craig Wright has a lot to do with the creation of Bitcoin, and he is not friendly right now for Bitcoin. He's calling Bitcoin a shitcoin, and he's essentially I don't know if he wants to destroy Bitcoin itself, but he wants his version of Bitcoin Cash, which is Bitcoin Cash Satoshi Vision, to be the dominant one. Okay, that's his plan. You know, it's crazy, and a lot of people are saying, well, you know what, if you have all these Bitcoin, go and sell them. You know, don't just talk, go and sell them, because there's a lot of people who are waiting for Bitcoin to be at $3,000, $2,000 levels, you know, and they'll be buying like crazy, those institutional investors. And at the end of the day, if he does have all of this Bitcoin, he sells them, he will lose his influence, he will lose his power, and he will essentially sell them cheap, and he will be left with no Bitcoin. So in any case, that's a little bit concerning, and we are definitely seeing it in the charts. Bitcoin is not anytime soon rebounding. Okay, so we don't see a rebound today so far from this drop. We're seeing further drop in price of Bitcoin. Like I said yesterday, we can see it dropping even more to $5,000 levels, and maybe go even below that to $4,500 for Bitcoin. So the sell-off has not ended yet. It is continuing right now, and it's of course affecting the entire crypto market. So this whole Bitcoin Cash war is definitely affecting the Bitcoin prices. And maybe it's not entirely related to the sell-off, because people are scared right now. People are scared at this moment about Bitcoin and its future and all of that. It largely does affected by the Bitcoin Cash hard fork. But keep in mind that we have seen something similar in November 15th last year. Well, right now there is a drop of about 17% in the price of Bitcoin, and we saw something very, very similar back in November last year. If we take a look at this is November prices over here, and Bitcoin dropped from 7,300 all the way to by 30%, about 25% to 5,500. So will history repeat itself? Will history repeat itself? Can it be that this market manipulation that is happening, the sell-off, is triggering a violent bull run? It is a possibility. It is definitely a possibility that this will happen. And after the sell-off, we'll see a violent shot like this. Because that's what's required for Bitcoin to break the old resistance levels, you know, violent volume, a lot of volume, people buying. Okay, and there is some catalysts that will definitely can play a role, like the back platform, institutional bull run. There is a lot of those things that align that indicate that the bull run will start, and can start anytime soon. I don't know if it will start this year or next year or the first quarter of next year, but it will definitely start. Sooner or later it will start. But we'll see what will happen. Will history repeat itself? I have a suspicion that this platform backed that starts trading on December 12th, we'll see a rally by December 12th that can look something like this. And create a rally. But right now we're continuing with the sell-off, and it might continue the next day. as it looks like it for right now. So regarding the fork, like I said, don't trade the fork, don't hold any Bitcoin Cash. I would not advise. It is risky, it is dangerous, and it is a war that you don't want to play this game. You don't want to play this game between Craig Wright and Jihan Wu. And he said that he's going to go in a full billionaire mode. He doesn't care what other people think. He doesn't care about people losing money. He doesn't care about all of that stuff. You know, he just wants Bitcoin Cash to dominate. I don't know. Maybe he is like a maniac in a way, that he is psychopath. Like he wants to be right and all of that. I don't know, but he definitely holds a lot of power. He partnered with another billionaire who runs CoinGeek that supports a lot of the hash power. It's still a small amount of hash power compared to what Bitcoin hash power is. So with the hash wars, if Jihan Wu will allocate a lot of his mining equipment to mine Bitcoin Cash, he will destroy Craig Wright. He will win this war. But Craig Wright is saying, of course, that it is illegal for him to do so, and he is going to file a action suit against him if he is going to do that. You know, so he's ready. He's ready to do whatever it takes in order to win this war, right? You know, if Jihan and Roger break their contracts in direct BTC miners of users to Bitcoin Cash for a day, we'll help you start a long, messy class action lawsuit. So, as you can see, it is quite significant what is going on right now in the crypto market, and all of that, guys. You can read through this. There is a full interview. I read through all of this, and you know, this guy is he owns a private jet. He's definitely a wealthy guy. He's I don't know how much Bitcoin he owns, but he definitely has some power. But at the end of the day, if he were to sell a lot of Bitcoin and try to crush Jihan Wu and his miners of Bitcoin and all of that, I don't think he will win this war eventually, because there's a lot of people, there's a lot of support from people. If Bitcoin is going to crash, you know, to those levels of 4,000, 3,000, there'll be a lot of people buying at this level. And if he's going to be selling, he'll be selling them cheaply, and he's not stupid. I don't think he will do that. It's just cause to create FUD in the market. I think that's what he is doing, and he is succeeding at it. People are a little bit panicking right now. So I don't want you to panic, and you know, maybe it will make sense. We'll see. To convert Bitcoin into fiat for this time, before, if it's going to continue drop like this, and then buy it back in cheaper, right? And also remember that during those times, we may see one of the biggest opportunities ever to get some of the other altcoins on the market cheaper, right? It's like on a discount, a Black Friday discount. So think about this way, in opportunistic ways, that some of the other coins that are good projects might be very, very cheap, and when Bitcoin starts to climb again, they will skyrocket even more than Bitcoin, and massive gains to be made. Okay, trade with caution. I right now would suggest to just wait it out a little bit more and see what is going on with the cash, Bitcoin Cash hard fork. What will tomorrow tell us? So you know, don't rush into putting your positions right now. So there you have it for today. I think this is going to be quite interesting to watch as it develops. You know, it's definitely epic, and we've not seen a volatility drop like this in a very long time. according to Brian Kelly, this will not last. The crypto civil war eventually will have a lot of reasons for it to go back up. But all of this is related to this war of Bitcoin Cash. And yeah, the drama continues, guys. The drama continues. We are not yet in the bull run territory. Not yet. The bear market continues, unfortunately, and it crushed this $6,000 level. The next support line that we are seeing in a very long time is somewhere here at 4,800 levels, and right here at $3,180 levels. You know, $3,500 levels. So let's see where it takes us, and let's breathe a little bit. And prepare. Okay, prepare for the opportunities to come and utilize those opportunities in the markets. Turn the mic up. It's very quiet. Can you hear me all right? So that's what I want to share with you today. Hope that you guys are, hope you guys are not panicking right now. Don't panic. It is an exciting times for Bitcoin, and it's not going anywhere. It's this war with Craig Wright that is causing this. I encourage you to read the comments of people. Like it's crazy. Like people do not like Craig Wright. They do not like his. They call him a childish behavior. Wanting to destroy something. People say go and do this. Go and bring Bitcoin down to $1,000. If you can do this, we need to clean up the space. Some people say I want the cheap Bitcoin, but people don't like Craig Wright. That's what you can tell from the comments. People don't like him and the way that he is behaving. So that is it, guys, for this update, and I'll keep you posted further about this Bitcoin Cash drama. I'll see you in the next live stream.